Hi, how are you all? Welcome back to Let's Talk Design by A Class Marble, and today we have another special guest who is on board with us, and we will be interacting on amazing topics with our lovely guest. I am shortly going to invite our guest so that I'm not letting you all wait for a long time. Just allow me some time so that our guest is on board. I hope you all are doing great and you all are safe. Please stay safe and stay healthy during these times. I'm not gonna make you all wait for a long time. Just checking if our guest is joining. Our guest is about to join. We are again going to talk about some new trends, some new styles with an expert all about stones and marble. I hope you all enjoy our conversations. Just waiting for our guest to join. We have a very special guest today. Oh, there she is.
Hi, Sana.
Hi, Mitali. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good too. Sorry to keep all the audiences waiting if we have just delayed it by 2 minutes. Before we start, I would like to just introduce you to our audience. Firstly, to our Let's Talk Design by A Class Marble. We have Mitali today from Crafted Spaces. Crafted Spaces is a multidisciplinary firm founded in 2014 by our lovely guest today. She is very committed to our excellence in customs of architecture. They do a variety of projects ranging from residential to commercial. They also focus on creating spaces that are functional, aesthetically looks appealing, and also looks intellectually gorgeous. They also have a unique reflection of values and characters of their clients. I hope I haven't missed out on anything else.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction.
Great. So today we will have a small conversation about marble trends and styles in interior and architecture. Firstly, tell me, when we talk about a marble, what is in your mind when you just see a very nice, gorgeous looking marble?
So, I'm not just going to talk about marble, if that's okay, if I can talk about stone in general. So, stone is one of my favorite materials to use. And I think, like everybody knows, stone has been around for generations. So it's a very sustainable material. It's very durable, and it has so much character in itself. And it is a natural material, so
Right.
it has how do I put it across? It has life in it,
Right.
So when we use it, I think we should use it with a little bit of respect. And I love using Indian stones as well. So if you see in most of our projects, we play around with a mix of both, but
Right.
predominantly it's always Indian stones. So I definitely love using that material a lot.
Great. We also sometimes get confused whenever we are doing a project, especially picking up a marble or a stone for a flooring. So, what qualities do you look for, especially for flooring when you're doing any project?
So the first thing would be to know where you're using that material. Is it a residential space? Is it a commercial space?
Right.
Also, the second most important thing is what is the scale of that space? you know,
Right.
because when it comes to apartments, you don't have too much flooring that's visible after all your furniture comes in, and you may want to put a carpet or a rug on it. So the first step would be to identify whether you have that space, whether you have enough light coming into that space, you know, that will enhance the flooring. So when it comes to flooring, obviously there are standard thicknesses that you need to use. You need to use at least an 18 to 20 mm. That also the durability has to be taken into account. Is it a heavy usage area? Is it coming in your corridors? Is it coming in your bedrooms? Do you want it to have a smooth finish? Do you want a leather finish? What we usually do is when we're doing villas, you know, we like to play around in the passages and the corridors that are connecting your living spaces. So, you know, you
Right.
have that expanse, and we try and create patterns that kind of define your pathway. And if not, we try and use it as a carpet under
Okay.
the furniture. So instead of actually putting in a rug, we try and bring in the color in the carpet, in the flooring.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I actually love doing that a lot. So you can even do a mix of an Italian stone, for example, an Italian marble or an Indian marble. And you can also do a little bit of a leather finish in the middle,
Okay.
mixing 2 or 3 stones with a little bit of color, and that automatically creates like a beautiful pattern and gives you an automatically like a nice carpet flooring.
I'm very curious to know. I've heard so many people talking about mixing of different materials, and I think this is the first time I'm hearing marble and a leather. So could you elaborate a little bit on it for our audience?
Yeah, so when I said leather, I meant a leather finish on the stone itself. I've not really experimented with it in that way, but we do experiment a lot when it comes to stone with wood, stone with metal. We use a lot of brass inlays, experimenting a little bit with copper also now. And within the stone itself, we play around with different finishes of the same stone. So it can be a leather finish, a honed finish, a sandblasted finish, or sometimes the stone in its raw form itself is so beautiful. We're actually doing a project now where we've taken this limestone, this yellow limestone, and
Okay.
we're just putting it as is on the wall with jagged edges and not doing any finish on it. Maybe we'll just put a sealant on it so that, you know, it lasts longer and is more durable. But other than that, you know, it's so beautiful. Stone has so much texture in itself that you honestly don't need to do much.
Fair enough, fair enough. But all of these applications and techniques you apply, is it just on flooring, or do you experiment it on other surfaces as well?
I actually prefer using textures in stone on the walls,
Okay.
because when you use it on a wall, it actually gives the space more dimension. And like I said, now spaces are getting smaller. I'm talking about residential, you know, spaces are getting smaller, so you don't have a lot of floor area to play around with, except if you're doing like, you know, the big massive villas and things like that.
Yeah.
So in small spaces also, it becomes very nice to use stone on the walls. So you
Hmm.
can do, you know, you can do a little bit of fluting or a grooving on the wall that automatically gives it dimension. There is CNC cutting, so you can create patterns within your stone. There
Right.
are some beautiful stones that you can, you know, backlight and create a wonderful effect. So yeah, there's a lot of scope.
Lovely. Okay, we have seen a lot of your projects. And how do you manage to add that innovation into every new space that you design, especially with the stones in it?
So when it comes to innovation, I tend not to be too experimental with the kind of stone I'm choosing. So we try to stick to neutral palettes. We do experiment with color. It could be right now, gray marble is something that I'm really fond of. It adds a very modern touch to the space. But again, if the house is going into a gray tone, I'll also end up using like a stone that's more locally available, like an Indian stone, like a tandoor, or even a kota, for
Okay.
example. You know, kota is such a beautiful stone, and
Mhm.
it in itself has so many colors
Yeah,
that,
it
you
does.
know, you can play around with it so much. Yeah, so I think
also think of experimenting if you're applying stones in interiors or in exteriors, because I'm sure the quality of stones vary from interiors to exteriors.
Definitely. When you talk about exteriors, it's a whole different ballgame because you have to think of the durability of the material. Also,
Mhm.
it has to be slightly thicker.
Mhm.
And the finish, you have to have obviously like a leather finish, so it's more durable. What we also do is we try and connect the indoors and outdoors. So it could be the same stone, but the finish outside is a little more rough with a leather finish. But when it comes inside the house, the same stone gets a polished finish. So you still have that openness, but then it still looks seamless, you know, because it's the same stone, but it's in different materials. And also when it comes to cladding, again, there are so many different ways of doing it. Now with nowadays everybody does dry cladding for your elevation, so you
Mhm.
can experiment a little bit with that. You know, you can
Right.
get a little bit more of angles and things like that in your elevation. So yes, a
Right.
lot of options.
So, just a quick question again with what you said. Are people okay to have the same kind of stone in exteriors and interiors, or they are more keen to have different kind of, stones, just to have some sort of variety?
So it honestly depends from client to client. So some clients do want a more modern look, and when I say modern, the first thing that comes to your mind is everything is seamless, you know.
Yeah.
And to get that seamless feature, you tend to stick to the same color tone at least, you know, and you may have that one off feature wall. So we also, when we design our spaces, we'll take, for example, the staircase, which is the double height wall, or the double height itself, you know, in the villa, and we'll add a little bit of stone to that. So everything else will be neutral around you, but then there will be a pop of color, but we bring that in with stone itself.
Just to accentuate that area, basically.
Yes, yes.
Great, great. So, you have a lot of experience and your projects show that. How do you choose the stone? Is it based on the space, or is it, does it differ from a public space to a residential space, or from a commercial project to a residential project?
Definitely. So, like I said, when we started off the conversation, the
Yeah.
first thing to consider is what is the function of the space, and how is that stone going to be used in which area. Because again, when it comes to stones, especially like for example, for interiors, if it's a kitchen, you know, you have to think of the porosity of the stone, otherwise it's going to absorb all your stains. So you need a heavy duty stone over there, which is durable, which is heat resistant. Also, when it comes to commercial spaces, for example, if it's a retail space, you know, I can't go crazy with my flooring because nobody's going to look at the things that are going to be displayed in the store. So it honestly depends and differs from project to project. But function is always key. You need to know what you are using the stone for. And depending on that, you can consider the different options available. And you can add a sealant, you can increase the, you know, make the porosity better of the stone. So on it just comes down to function of the space.
Where do you think you can experiment a lot more? Is it residential space or a commercial space? Which
I feel like now residential is where you can explore a lot because clients are so aware now. Everybody's already done their research before they've come to you. They already have these set of photos that they show you. So they know, you know, the possibilities of what can be done. We have so much exposure on Instagram itself, you know, where such amazing work is being done by so many different designers. So I think there's no dearth of options in interiors. I think when it comes to commercial spaces, it is a little bit limited because there are multiple people who are going to be using the space. When it
Mhm.
comes to residential, it's just you and your family. So obviously your taste is what takes the foreground. So definitely interiors.
Have you also tried to experiment marble with furnitures? Because a lot of people are doing that.
Yes, yes. So my favorite thing to do is use it as a dining top stone, as your dining countertop basically, or your bedside tables, just out of practicality, you know. It's so easy to maintain, it's durable, and it looks stunning. And in a couple of places, we've done a little bit of a brass inlay on the countertop. So it's a very subtle detail, but it looks stunning.
So, do you like experiment a lot in terms of these furniture pieces also with wood, metal, or like brass, just like you said right now?
Yes, so
Or,
we've actually just completed a bar recently where we've done wood, stone, and brass. And I
or
think this all together, and this combination is, I think, timeless, and it works really well together. And all the colors complement each other. So in that case, we used a dark stone, which is like a black Makina marble, and like a lighter tone of wood and brass. So the combination is just, it's come out really beautifully.
I think it matters a lot what sort of color tones and textures and patterns,
Definitely.
right?
Definitely.
So,
Definitely.
think that textures, patterns, all of these things also play a major role when you're selecting a stone or marble for a particular space.
Of course, yes. So again, it comes down to what kind of look the client wants. So
Yeah.
before we start any project, like everybody does, we obviously start with a mood board, and you kind of know which direction you want to head in. And honestly, when we start our projects, we start with our stone selection, because that is the first thing you do, at least what we do when we start our design stage. And when you go and you choose the stone, there are times when we've like gone with the client and they see something else, and
Oh, oh,
suddenly you go with one vision, and then you're like, this may work. I mean, it won't be drastically different, but it'll be, you know, on the similar lines, but you may end up liking another stone. So visiting the quarries, visiting the galleries, like A Class Marble, there's so much of stone on display, you know, and each lot is different because stone is a natural material. So even if you know your standard stones, like, you know, your standard marbles that are your go-to marbles, you may go to a place and then they may have a different lot. So the color is slightly different, the veins are slightly different. So it's always better to go with your clients and see for yourself, you know.
right. And like you have so much of experience and you've done so many projects. What is it your style? What qualities do you look in a stone or any marble when you are picking up? Or I also want to know your favorite stone, like your audience would like to know that you use very often in your projects and why.
Um, so again, I'm going to come back to how I started off. I think I love Indian stone because we have so many options. It's not that I have anything against Italian. We do use Italian marble as well. There is not just Italian, the Brazilian, Turkey, such beautiful marbles from everywhere. But I'll use those in a very limited quantity as maybe statement pieces,
Right.
probably for a bar or like a TV unit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But my real love definitely lies with Indian stone, also because it's suitable for our weather. It's endured so many years of what is, you know, our climate, our weather, and it has so many beautiful colors. And my favorite, I think, would be Jaisalmer, because it's got such a beautiful, bright, lovely color. I think Jaisalmer and Kota. Jaisalmer, okay, I can't pick one. I'm going to pick two, three: Jaisalmer, Kota, and Travertine. I think Travertine, of course, I'm deviating a little bit, but yeah, they're stunning.
Which of these do you use the most? Travertine.
Mm, earlier, I did use a lot of travertine. I literally used to wrap spaces around with travertine because it's got so much character in itself. But lately, I think we've been using a lot of what is available since we're located in Hyderabad. There's, you know, we're accessible to like Tandur, Shabad, um, you know, those kind of stones, and Kadapa. So
Okay.
Kadapa again is a beautiful stone, and I don't think there's any stone that is close to Kadapa in terms of the color and the texture that it offers. So definitely, I think lately we've been using more of that.
But I like your choice of travertine.
Yeah, lovely. I think we can have a big group of people who love travertine because it's a stunning stone.
Maybe I also like that stone, that's why.
Oh,
But
really?
I've seen it a lot these days. I think it's very, very in. A lot of people are
Yes.
using it or on the wall, even as decorative pieces.
Yeah.
So I really
Yeah, I
like.
love using it on the wall because it, like I mentioned, like, it can add so much dimension to a space if, if you do it well and if you do it right on the wall.
Absolutely. I would like to just ask one more question. Whether it is a or say flooring, stone brings a lot of versatility to it. So, any advice for our audience on how they can use it in different surfaces, whether it is horizontal or vertical?
When you use it in a space, whether it's horizontally or vertically, first let's address the horizontal factor of it.
Mhm.
Again, you have to take into account your lighting as well and how much furniture is going around the space. So people, I think it's always been a trend to use the lighter marbles. People
Yeah,
tend to be, go towards the creams and the beige and the whites because they feel like it opens up your space. But that's not necessarily true. You can also use a darker marble, a darker stone, provided you use the right lighting.
okay.
And also, if you have a polished flooring, for example, it's obviously reflecting your light off, and everybody thinks like it'll give you the feeling of the space looking bigger. But you can play around with finishes again of mixing polish and a little bit of a rough finish, and you can still achieve the same result. And it'll only be enhanced with good lighting. Also, when it comes to using it on your walls, using it vertically, adding a little bit of dimension of grooving or fluting. Again, when you walk into a space, your eye will definitely go to a place or a space or an object which has a little bit of a 3D depth to it. And again, when it comes to lighting, lighting is so important when you're using stones because stone has texture, right? So you need to know the right amount of light that's hitting it for those beautiful veins and the beautiful depth to show, basically.
Right. So, I think when people are choosing stone, choose light simultaneously.
Definitely.
Great. So I think let's answer all the questions to our audiences who have asked us some questions. Guys, if you have some questions to ask, please put it in your comments. Mitali is going to answer all of them for you right now. 1 second. So there's a question. Different designs of home temples are built here. Unique workstations and all kinds of marble is also. Oh, they are just trying to promote their
Oh.
hand. Again, I'm just going through. What is the difference between Indian marble and Italian marble? Since we've spoken about it since the beginning, we started the conversation.
Indian and Italian marble, I think the first difference would be the thickness. Italian marble is around 16 to 18 and your Indian marble and stones can go up to 28, 30 mm. So that's the main difference. And again, it's just contextual. It has, I think it's just a state of mind that people think that, Italian marble is luxury, but you can create the same effect with Indian marbles as well. So it's just a way of changing people's, thoughts.
Great. So, Praveen, I think Mitali has answered your question. Guys, if you have any more questions, please share them on the comments. Mitali, I will not let you sign off without sharing a design tip with us using stone.
A design tip, I think just don't be afraid to be like experimental with it because it has the potential and it can allow you to play around with with it a lot, and also you can mix a lot of materials with it. And stone will never be a supporting actor. I feel it'll, no matter what you do, no matter which material you mix it with, it's always going to be in the forefront. So don't be afraid to experiment with it and treat it with respect because it is a natural material.
That's so beautiful. Very different comments today I've heard from you, especially like on Indian stones and how do you do the leather finish and Great. I mean, I also got to know new things. It was
Lovely.
lovely here, Mitali.
Thank you so much, Sana.
And guys, if you have more questions, we will be sharing this live on our page. You could just ask the questions there itself, and I'm sure Mitali would be happy to answer them there. Thank,
Definitely. Thank
thank
you,
you.
Sana. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.